The first reason you cannot gain weight is simply because you are not eating enough. You think you eat more than you actually do. I promise you, you aren't actually eating that much. If the weight is not going up, you clearly aren't eating that much or you're moving too much. So, how do you know if you're eating enough? Well, when you go to bed or when you've finished your meals for the day, do you genuinely feel sick? Do you feel like you want to throw up? There is that much food inside you. If not, you're probably not bulking that hard. You're probably not trying to put on that much weight that fast. And, for me personally, when I put on, kilos and kilos of muscle and also a bit of fat, just weight in general, it's always been, I have felt so full. At the end of the day, I've genuinely finished meals and wanted to nearly throw up. Obviously, I haven't actually thrown up because that'd be counterintuitive. You'd actually lose weight. But I'm just saying, you want to feel very full. You want to feel very satiated. You want to feel as if you're eating a lot. So you have to remember, you are in a surplus. You are giving your body more calories, more nutrients, more everything than it actually needs to stay at the same weight. So if you think about what you'd normally be giving it, you're just giving it a moderate amount of food and that's keeping you at the same weight. But now you're really pushing yourself. You're really eating more and more and more. You are giving your body just an excess of calories, an excess of nutrients, and you should be able to feel that, If you feel the same when you are, eating more, you're trying to gain weight, as you normally do when you just eat normally and you're not trying to gain weight, then something is clearly wrong. You need to be feeling that difference, okay? So try your best to get, 4, maybe 5 meals a day if you're really trying to put on some weight. I'd recommend maybe 5. High protein. Obviously, when I say gain weight, okay, I want you to know, I don't want you to just gain fat, okay? For some people, maybe you do want to just gain fat. You're very skinny, you need to gain some fat. It's actually unhealthy. You're that skinny, fine. But for the majority of people, I want you to be building a bit of muscle as well as trying to, gain weight, as in put on muscle as well as fat. I don't want you to just put on muscle. Just put on fat, because that won't be good for your overall physique and your overall health. So I want you to put on both. So the best way to do that is by getting the high proteins in, or getting the high protein in and making sure you're eating enough. So yeah, make sure 5 meals a day, all pretty high in protein. Eat the good whole foods in the majority of time. I'm not saying you should never eat, the Krispy Kreme again, or I don't know, the pizza ever again, but I'm just saying maybe for 5 of the meals, or 4 of the meals of the day, maybe have, all the clean whole foods, the good foods for you, the foods that actually come from the earth, the foods that are one ingredient, the good foods. Maybe eat them for 4 meals of the day, and for one of your last meals, have, I don't know, a meal of, just some fun sweet treats, whatever. That will mean you're going to stay on track and you're still basically giving your body the right nutrients, as well as actually wanting to continue to do it, because you've got that little reward of them sweet treats. That helped me when I was trying to bulk up. When I was trying to gain a lot of weight and I was just eating the boring whole foods, I didn't want to carry on doing it. So a good way I kept myself motivated is I'd leave, a pretty small meal, not a massive meal at the end of the day, but a pretty small meal would just be, something fun, I don't know, peanut butter sometimes. Like, it doesn't even need to be anything that crazy, just something that's, tasty and makes you feel a bit good and basically keeps you motivated. So yeah, the first reason you cannot gain weight is simply you are just not eating enough. The second reason you are not gaining weight is because you are moving too much. When I was gaining weight, I made it my absolute dedicated target to just stand still as much as possible. Why am I always moving about? That means I have to eat more. If I'm always moving about, I'm burning too many calories. That's not good. That's no good when I'm trying to put on weight. I'm not trying to burn calories. I'm trying to keep that weight on me and not expend the calories, the weight. I want to keep it on me. That is how I'm going to gain weight. Just a disclaimer, my aesthetic body course is in the link in the description. It teaches you exactly how to build the aesthetic body and get in the best shape of your life. Go check it out, link in the description. So stop moving so much, all right? You want to gain weight, but you're walking 20k steps a day, maybe go down to 10k. I know it may sound as if this is unhealthy, what you're saying to not be active. First of all, 20k steps is crazy anyway. But 10k steps, still very active. You're not just eating all that food for no reason, just to expend it throughout the day anyway. So yeah, one of the main reasons people don't gain weight is because they're not eating enough, which is the main reason. But another reason is they just move too much. A lot of people, they go on runs a lot, they walk around a lot. I don't know, maybe on your commute to work, you walk a lot. Try your best to minimize as much movement as possible. I'm not saying to just sit on your couch all day, but I'm saying maybe don't be as active as you normally are, because it's going to mean you're expending too many calories sometimes and you might not be putting on as much weight as you want. So yeah, try your best to stop moving as much. All right, keep that weight on you, keep the calories on you instead of expending all the time. Obviously, this is nearly impossible to, fully stick to, because then you would just be an unproductive, lazy cow and you do nothing with your life. But I'm saying still just try reduce it a little bit. If you're a very active person, maybe don't do as many steps as you normally do, decrease it a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, take one cardio session off that you usually do. That's just going to mean you're expending less calories, you're still going to be healthy, and yeah, you're going to gain weight. So yeah, the third reason you are not gaining weight is because you are not using liquid calories. For me personally, I can gain weight quite easily. It's really simple for me. I have quite a slow metabolism. I enjoy eating a lot. What's harder for me is actually losing weight. But anyway, I find it pretty easy anyway to just eat the whole foods, like just eat normal foods without having to blend it up. But a lot of people find this difficult. They have faster metabolism. They just aren't as hungry as I am. So you should be using liquid calories if you're that type of person. All you have to do is go and buy a really cheap blender. You don't have to get a really good one, and just make a bit of a smoothie. That's what I used to make. I had a 1,000-calorie smoothie every single day when I was bulking, and it really helped me actually put on a lot of weight. So what I would do is I would literally put in a banana into a shake, whatever it's called. Banana. I'd put frozen berries. I'd put some peanut butter, protein powder, milk, honey. Yeah, that was it really. And that would be, it would come to about 1,000 calories. I might have added in a little bit of olive oil. I know it's a bit bad, but it's high in calories, and sometimes it would up my calories a little bit when I needed it. So yeah, maybe do that if you're really, really underweight and you want to put on weight fast. Olive oil in your smoothies, you can't taste it, and it's quite high in calories. Anyway, and it's healthy fats as well. But yeah, please just use liquid calories. If you're someone who can't eat a lot, get it down your gullet with liquid. Do it in liquid form. It's so much easier. It doesn't make you feel as full. It's not as mentally hard. I don't really know why. It just feels easier. You're not actually having to chew it. You're not getting the fatigue from biting down, I guess. I don't know. It's just easier. Get 1,000 calories in a smoothie in literally, I don't know, you can get it down in 5 minutes, probably even less, 2 minutes. It's easy as hell. Go and do it. And yeah, you will be putting on a lot of weight. Now, another reason you are not gaining weight is because you're not tracking your calories and macros. You don't know how much you're eating. You need to know if you're actually in surplus. So for me, I always make sure to go and find out my calorie maintenance and go over 500 calories or 300 calories. I need to know. If I don't know, then I might be in too big of a surplus or not even in a surplus. So just find out your calorie maintenance, go over it, and actually track your calories, actually track your macros. So track how many carbohydrates you have in a day, proteins, etc., and tweak it slightly depending on, what kind of lifestyle you want, what you want from your fitness goals. And yeah, just please make sure to track your stuff. If you don't, it becomes a lot more difficult, and you usually don't make as much progress because you don't actually know. If you're not really in control when you're not tracking your calories and stuff like that, you don't actually know if you're putting on much weight. And also a bonus tip is tracking your weight. Tracking your weight every week is really good because you can tweak and you can change your kind of perspective on your weight gain or how you are gaining weight, because you can see one week, oh, I didn't gain weight, okay, I need to eat a little bit more. Oh, I actually lost weight, okay, I definitely need to eat more. Oh, I put on a bit too much weight this week, okay, I need to tweak my calories a little bit. When you weigh yourself every week, when you track your calories every day, then it becomes very simple and you actually become in control and you can dictate your own weight gain. And then lastly, really simply, the last reason you aren't gaining weight is because you're just not that consistent and you're not being patient. weight gain, it takes time. It obviously takes longer to build muscle and stuff like that, but weight gain still takes time, especially for someone who has quite a fast metabolism or is starting at quite a low body fat percent or just body weight in general. And so be patient. It's not going to happen just like that. It's going to take months. All right. It's going to take maybe 3-4 months for you to really put on a lot of weight. Obviously, if you go and eat whatever you want, you know, it's going to be easy to gain weight, but please just do it the healthy way. I don't want you to just completely neglect your internal functioning while you do this, while you try gain weight. It's just not good for you. Simple as that. You want to be healthy as well as look good. So yeah, make sure to eat the whole foods as much as possible and don't eat those foods. You know, they're just not that good for you. Try to reduce how much you eat them as much as possible. Anyway, yeah, so just be more consistent. Make sure every single day you're genuinely dedicated to winning that day. That's how I always viewed it. Winning that day, making sure I was in my surplus, meaning I was going to gain weight, okay? Be patient. It takes time and you will get there. If you genuinely put your mind to it, you'll get there. It's actually a lot more simple than people think. Just a disclaimer, my aesthetic body course is in the link in the description. It teaches you exactly how to build the aesthetic body and get in the best shape of your life. Go check it out, link in the description.